Welcome to the KVJ After the Show podcast.
Kevin's eyes look insane, but he's got new hair. Virginia is a witch, and she farts in her chair. Jason is a spaz who's got an old man's ass. Welcome to the After the Show podcast.
Yeah, baby. Welcome to the KVJ After the Show podcast. It's a Friday. Oh, yeah.
You ever know somebody that does that?
It was in your movie.
It was. The reason why I was in it, because I played baseball with a guy like that, and everyone hated him.
Day drinking.
He'd strike somebody out, and then he'd look at the batter and go, ooh, ooh, like, stop doing that.
No, really?
Yes.
Oh, man.
Did not like it.
I can see why. I could see why.
I do that a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do the woot woot a lot?
I do.
You're a woot woot girl, huh?
But at least you're doing it, and it's your own thing. When you're on a baseball team and you strike somebody out, and then you go, ooh, ooh, you're basically representing. You're saying my team agrees with me.
It's kind of a female move too. Like I don't know. I don't know if a guy should go woo woo.
Oh, we fucking hated it. He was one of the few baseball players I played with that I did not like.
Well, we got a lot of feedback from the revelation that we had yesterday on the show that Virginia has already opened up her own website to make money. Witches Nose and something toes.
It's witchnosecutetoes.com.
I told a member of the snack pack this yesterday,
Yeah.
and he could not get out quick enough. What's that? What website? I'm like, I don't know, man. I can't find it.
It was quite an interesting revelation. In fact, we got several emails. I'll just go through one of them. Thank you to Karen. I know she sent one in as well. But Laura said, I can't tell you how many times I watched the ATS today, totally belly laughing. The look on Kevin and Jaybird's faces was priceless. Here's the first one where I actually find the website, and I can't believe it. And then as I listen to Virginia describing it, that was...
Kevin, see, that's the shit I see all the time. That bottom picture of Kevin looking confused and going, what the fuck's happening to my show?
I'm so used to that look from every man in my life.
So
it doesn't faze me.
I see that all the time, and you never see it. It's not fair to me.
And then Bird, when he first saw it, too, he was like, what? Yeah.
And look at Suits over there with a bone piece.
Yeah.
Suits had to come in and just be like, no, it's real.
Look, his left hand.
Oh,
Suits
yeah.
is on his pud.
Yeah. He's doing some pud petting.
I actually did a lot of thinking about yesterday's podcast, and I agree. You do need to do this.
Wow, that was something.
I'm going to be like, remember podcasts back in the beginning? Everything was free. There was no commercials. That's how it is. I'm going to get them when it's free, no commercials, no paywall, no nothing. I'm going to start putting up some good content. And then when it starts getting juicy, I'm going to put up that paywall. But then I've got them hook, line, and sinker.
So you want to get them and entice them with the foot as an appetizer, if you will, and then they subscribe. Then we pop out them titties.
Something like that.
Wow. Look, we have to now take it seriously. Whether this is a stunt or not, she's got me and Kevin.
I still can't figure it out, and I'm just kind of nervously moving through this.
It's real, dude. I think it is. I think if it was just benign enough, but still kind of naughty, and it was making a little bit of revenue, if she was making $300 a month on that, and she didn't have to show the pink parts, but maybe she was showing her tatas in a bra or something.
Okay.
She would do that. But
I'll do that right now.
here's the thing, though. It ain't going to be that. That might be month 1, 2. It always, just like every monster out there, they want to say, oh, nice, little Virginia titty. Oh, and then it's going to be,
It
show me
turns
the
into
clitty, show me
something
the clitty,
else,
show me
yeah.
the clitty.
It's a gateway.
Oh, yeah, and it'll be that aggressive, too. They'll be all sweet. Oh, I
Yeah.
love your feet, but, oh, your tits. Show me your clit. It goes from 0 to 100 in this world.
From tit to clit.
I'm just trying to be your friend, but you ain't listening to me, so...
You're not going to only be just my friend. You're going to be my top subscriber. I'm taking your money first.
That would be horrifying if you could look to see who is listening or watching.
You can see there's a counter. You can see how many hits the site gets, and then you can see who's hitting you.
Horrifying.
Wow. The other big revelation that happened was that we found out Virginia's son Rocco is her webmaster.
Yeah.
Dude, that shit was layered.
There was a lot to really drink in yesterday. It was, I gotta admit, it was emotionally draining.
She was pretty fucking crazy on the microphone today too. Look,
Yeah.
I love it because it's got people talking.
Yeah, oh, it does. Kimberly did say, I did check out Virginia's website. Can you please have her webmaster fix all the typos?
I think that gives it charm.
He's 8.
No. I think that makes it seedier. It gives it more. I think it's the
That's
right
more
for
Phil.
now.
He's
For now.
8, so he's my guy. But it's not always going to be perfect as far as like spelling.
Okay.
And then you got people going, the kid shouldn't be involved at all.
Well,
Yeah.
the pictures right now are very benign.
Yeah.
I think when we go to the next level, I'm going to have to get him out of the deal.
What is the next level? Because that should be maybe a tease to your customers. What is the next level here at Sweetfoot Big Nose?
Sweet foot, big nose.
No, I will say we are having a branding issue. Nobody can remember that bullshit.
WhichnowsCuteToes.com. Lead with the nose because it's the biggest.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. What do you think about the branding on that?
It will take a little while for it to sink in. Because you're right. At first, I couldn't remember off the top of my head either. But
People were yelling at me yesterday because I couldn't remember the site.
it says, scary ass nose and adorable fucking toes. Those piggies in that schnoz are fine AF. Just wait till she drops that paywall video content. Gang, gang.
I see what she's doing. She's creating a character, which sometimes you got to do.
Now, did Rocco type that in?
He did. I dictated. I say what to type, and he types it.
Okay.
That's got the kind of attitude though that someone's like, yeah, fucking stomp on me with those feet. Like it's got the right. You guys are playing your cards pretty good. Just know that box you're opening up, and it's not
Hey.
Pandora.
It's Virginia's.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right now, it's just still shots. I think eventually we'll go to like some video work.
Oh, there's just the chat room alone. There's at least 5 guys since this show has started. That's
Yeah, it doesn't take a lot.
Virginia. So they are so into. That's going to be your top client right there. About 5 dudes that have always had a bone piece for the witch.
5 dudes and the bird.
I'm not out of pure spite. I'm not jerking off to your content.
Now, does your son Rocco get a cut for the work he's doing?
Yeah, he does. He gets a cut. It's called room and board.
They used to call it blood money, but now we call it pud money.
Okay, so that's it, huh?
Yeah, don't worry. He's taken care of.
Okay.
We took him out for a special night last night. Like, he's definitely well compensated.
And don't worry, he did all right for the horror movie as well. Cheeseburger always pays Jocko.
Oh, okay.
He did. He paid him cash.
Wow. Oh, that's how you get him to stay there, get his line. Great. If you do this line, you'll get $5 this time.
Oh, wow,
That
okay.
shit works.
Yeah, okay.
Some
That's how you do
adults.
it.
Yeah,
Money does talk
It does talk.
at any age. Rosalia sent in an email. She said, is V okay?
Define
Do
okay.
we need a new theme song? And is V okay? I'll work on that.
Okay.
Because I've gotten that comment a lot today.
She said, I've listened for years, and she's always been a bit out there, but I've noticed a change in the last year. Or am I crazy?
No, you're not. It's called menopause. It definitely changes a person. I'm very self-aware. I know that not only do I have menopause working against me, genetically, I mean, my mom had late stage bipolar and psycho issues. Like, it is what it is.
But here's what I'm saying, because you've said that before, and some women were countering that, and they're going, Virginia, you can't use menopause as an excuse to act bad. You can explain why, but it's not an excuse to bad behavior. Kind of like pregnancy is not an excuse to punch somebody.
Well, what have
are
I
your
done bad?
No,
I'm just being crazy.
Yeah, I shouldn't have said bad. Those are not my words.
I haven't hurt anybody but myself.
Kevin, do you want to talk?
Those are not my words. That were my words. Yeah, I found the less you talk, it's always great for me.
What I'm saying is you can't use menopause. You can't yell. It's not saying you, but anybody. You can't snap at somebody or do this or do menopause and constantly have that be your excuse. Is all I'm saying. That was some of the comments.
Well, it's real, and just because some people don't agree with it doesn't make it not real. And it is absolutely a hormonal change that happens and affects some of us worse than others. But I'm definitely going through it. I feel it. It affects me on a daily basis. I have hot flashes. I have mood swings. I have weird thoughts.
Okay, what kind of weird thoughts?
A lot of revenge.
It's kicked up.
It's kicked up.
But in these revenge thoughts, what are you thinking? Are you thinking about
Just being more squirrely, more unhinged, less worried about bad ramifications from.
As a friend, a close friend looking in, who's worked with her for quite a long time,
Yeah.
I think I know the witch very well. I would say in the last year, she's always had a tough time letting things go, but she really has a tough time of moving on something that makes her upset. And then she will stay mad at something and then just release emotions or an action that maybe deep down she knows she shouldn't be doing, but the I don't care or the thing that says don't do that, Virginia. No, it's
governor.
It's being cut down. The governor's broke, and she's mad at stuff. She's not letting it go, and then she's unleashing, and she's not. The governor's broken. That's what I've noticed.
I've noticed that too.
Am I wrong?
You're not wrong a bit. The governor is broken.
Would you say it was like our conversation about Sam Bankman-Fried, the FTX guy, that he was doing all these things, and I had made the comment, I said, how did he never think that it wasn't going to all come crumbling down? And the comment was, some people just go through insanity and they can't somehow envision where this is going to lead. And maybe it's a blind spot or a deficiency that some people have that it doesn't click.
Yeah, you don't see the eventual punishment for your actions.
Right,
you don't
'cause
see the end game.
That's why I think some people don't rob banks, they don't murder, they don't do some of these insane things because they're like, I don't want to go to prison, I don't want this, I don't want that.
So what you're saying, I don't want to be a person that doesn't act like I understand. I get it. I can see how menopause can change somebody. The thing that I will always have a problem with any kind of thing that affects people's moods is when you can have moods that affect other people, and I'm not saying you, I'm just saying in general as an excuse. People go, oh, it's my menopause, or it's my bipolar disorder, or it's my anxiety. I get why it makes you react. It's how you come back and respond to it. If you know you were wrong and you know your bipolar caused you to be a jerk, and if you come back and explain that to the human, why it happened, and you're sorry about that, that I will always have sympathy for and empathy for, and will back you up. It's people that, and I'm not saying you, I'm saying people that, I got menopause, and that's just how it is, so fuck it. That is what I think people always have a problem with.
Well, there's a lot of
again,
things. There are a lot of things that are going on right now in our society. You do hear that a lot. People will say it's this, it's my that, or it's, and if you don't have it, you don't understand. And so I think that, we now give a pass to everybody. You have to say whatever it is you want to say. It could be my ADD, it could be my autism, it could be my whatever. And people are like, oh, okay. And then you do get that
But when
pass.
people who do have that, like I have some of those things I talked about.
Yeah.
I know. You gotta fall on the sword and eat humble pie at times.
Yeah, and so I think for a lot of us, I know me, so many times I've thought, well, I mean, is that true? And that's why I like being able to bring this up on a case-by-case basis. Does somebody else agree? Like today, we had that, does the hormonal pregnancy give you a pass, or does it explain why you would slap your husband hard across the face?
And that's the one I'm more really double downing on.
Yeah.
Is I just don't think I understand the ABCs of why someone can lash out because they're pregnant. It still does. It doesn't excuse it.
Explain it, yes. Give it a pass, no.
Yeah, I agree with that.
That's rational.
Yes,
But
because people
now
do
you
have
know
problems.
why the hormones really do mess with your mind and your decision making.
But it can't be a thing where something happens. It's my menopause. That's going to, for people who've been through menopause, they're going to go, sit down, bitch. That's not how it goes. That's what's going to happen.
And then also there's people that would probably say that many different people have different experiences through the same thing.
Yes, that is true. And your experience is not going to be the next girl's experience. And that is very, very true. If you already have a propensity to mental illness and then you double that with menopause, you're fucked.
Yeah, I come from the school of there's no excuse for physical violence ever, unless you're being attacked or you have to save somebody's life. If someone makes, I mean, I think the guy said he was working overtime. It's not like he was trying to be an asshole. So,
Right.
you know, I think you can calm down 24 hours later and say, hey, I'm sorry I scratched you, even though you're pregnant.
Well, now that I'm older and like I have clear vision on my childhood, I can see when my mom went through it. You know, my mom was definitely mentally ill as I was a child, and I didn't know, I didn't understand. But now I can look back and say, oh yeah, when she almost committed suicide when I was 11, that was a thing. That was mental illness, and nobody got her any treatment. We all just kind of went, oh, she almost jumped off a bridge. Oh well, glad she didn't. We needed to do something about it, which we did not. And then when she had her hysterectomy, and that sent her into early menopause, and then she went really loopy, nobody talked about the fact that that was coupled with the bipolar. Now you have all the hormones of menopause and the bipolar. That's why that bitch went crazy.
Okay.
It's hormones. It's all what's going on in your head and in your body that make you act out.
But everybody could use that excuse, though. See what I'm saying? Everybody could, because everyone's got a different story.
And if it applies, then it applies.
Well, I think that's the problem these days. Is a lot of people will have bad. They'll do bad things or have bad behavior. And again, I'm just using this as a conversation. It's my anxiety. I see that every time with the DUI videos. People will get pulled over. I have ADHD. I've got anxiety. Well, I mean, that's part of being a human, too. Everyone's got anxiety to a level. That doesn't excuse you to be an asshole.
And you don't get excused from your DUI. You do not. You still have to be punished for your DUI. But you at least know, okay, this person's fucking losing it, and that's why they did it. But they still have to be punished.
Yeah, I just think we have a responsibility issue sometimes.
We have to talk about what's going on hormonally that's affecting some of us that are going squirrely like myself.
I constantly hear that. We're going to talk more about mental health. I think we talk a lot about mental health.
I don't think we do.
I think
we
do.
talk surface conversation about it. We don't get into the guts of it.
I think what we don't get into is what we need to, and this is the accountability, the understanding, but also the accountability part of it. And you see so much of it. It is in all the conversations about the people that are the mass shooters. It is also in the homeless population and what it's doing to some of our larger cities. Is we are trying to understand what these people are going through. You're trying to respect their civil liberties by not coming in too hard and too fast, but at the same time, you want to protect other people in society. And I don't think a lot of us know, I don't think anyone knows how to handle it right now because we want to respect your own personal rights. So we don't know, is this mental health going to cause them to shoot something up? Are they going to attack their husband? Are they going to be living on the streets and be causing crime that way?
And then I think, too, the blurred line, it causes confusion between people who really have mental health issues and then people who make up mental health issues as excuse for poor behavior. And when that happens, we all know somebody in our lives that does not have major mental health issues, but they're being an asshole, and they're just being an asshole, and they use mental health as a crutch. And I think when that starts to happen, people... You start getting people going, oh, here we go again. They're going to claim mental health when they're not just taking accountability.
Right.
And I think that breeds confusion and resentment.
You know, and it's an interesting comment that Remy had. She said, bring back asylums. And it would be interesting to see where we go. And I think that's a deeper dive that I need to do to understand what has been the changes and how we've handled mental health. Because, I just know from my experience when I was at Ohio University, I worked and I did the landscaping. They used to have was a huge mental hospital that was up on this hill. And it was so big. I mean, it was bigger. It was as big, if not bigger, than a regular hospital. So they had so many people in this thing. And that was how they used to do. And there were some parts that were like going, gosh, this seems really barbaric. I used to go down and scrub the asbestos paint off the walls and what looked like a dungeon. You know, it was brick and they had iron doors and they would just slide a meal in there and that kind of stuff. And like I said, it's so spooky because you would see claw marks in the brick where somebody's trying to claw through it. So, I mean, those were the criminally insane.
We've been terrible to people in our past.
And so I think that, when Remy talks about the asylums, people have that kind of, it immediately jumps into their head. But, maybe we should have more people that need to be requiring to stay at a mental facility until they are able to be out amongst society.
He might be kidding too. He's a sarcastic fuck.
Yeah.
In a loving way.
But I think that is the discussion. People want to be careful with people, but at the other end of it, there are a lot of people that are causing a lot of pain to innocent people based on their mental health.
Yeah, and I think what Carmesita said in the chat room, mental health is different than making poor decisions, and I believe that.
Right.
And
yeah.
I think,
how do you separate them?
And I think that's the problem is people are reporting I think there's just a lot of wrong information out there about what the difference is. So maybe you're right, Virginia.
Yeah.
Maybe we're not talking about it. I think we talk about it a lot, but I think we talk about it a lot wrong. Not us, just in general.
Improperly,
the media.
yeah. It's like we haven't gotten to a constructive conversation about it yet.
Right. And talked about okay, here's what it looks like when you go through menopause. Here's what it looks like when you have pregnancy brain lash outs. Here's what all these hormones inside of you can make you do. And so if you know before it happens, when you're going through it, you won't be so fucking confused by it and be like, am I a monster? Oh, wait, no, this is normal. This is hormones. I need to be aware of it and then maybe proactively can stop it from taking over my body and I act like a fucking demon.
I ask that question myself all the time. Am I a monster or does everyone act this way? I don't know.
Sid said the trick is funding these places well enough that the care is good. The pay has to be high. The facilities, we won't do it, so we just let them roam. It's really kind of heartbreaking. And it does seem like we just keep kicking the can down the road and nobody wants to jump in and really address it and come up with actual solutions.
Well, realistically, think about it too. Everyone wants to do the right thing, but everyone's also taking care of their family. And I think it does take a village for everybody to get involved. And sometimes people are struggling just to take care of their own family and barely hanging on. So they don't have time to have these conversations. But I think it takes something to where everyone's involved in it and not everyone can get involved.
Yeah. Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see what does happen. It is a very complicated issue, as Remy had said. So, and a lot of politicians don't want to get into it because they're going to offend people. And
that's just
bad for them.
That's we gotta.
It does feel like it's part of that, and that's where it's like we need to have a tough conversation and say, look, we want to be as sensitive as we can, but we probably need to do more in our society to help these people with mental health issues and to also protect our innocence in society.
Also, too, if you're in a leadership role, you should be able to take criticism. That's part of the gig.
Yeah, absolutely. Some other emails that we got here. It was very controversial this last week on Do It Bitch, and we have changed the policy based on a great chat room comment. The timer is necessary, and I give you a good 40 seconds because things can go a little bit long. But what happened was Denny's went a little longer than the 40 seconds, and I just buzzed it out, and the point went to the other team. Now what we're going to do is we'll just make the decision for you, and we'll raise it by one. But we had Drew go in and did a deep dive. He said, here's the screenshot of the exact time it took Denny's. I timed it out. And this is also the reaction of what happened. It was at the 1 minute 26 second mark.
Oh, my.
That I just buzzed him out, and you can see Bird's reaction. He's like, oh, my gosh, I can't believe it. It was a minute and a half.
Is that the Chippy Hippie?
By the way, great job from KVJ Nation getting the screenshots this week.
Yeah,
Some
he did
really
a good job.
stuff.
Yeah, he did a screenshot separately of the stopwatch along with the live action on the bottom. So that's some good work there.
I couldn't believe it. Look, that is a man who's really into a game here.
Yeah, he said this had me rolling on the floor dying, so thank you. That's good, yeah. So it was a minute 26 and 29 seconds.
It's been quite a war week here for
Well, it turns out
competitions.
mental illness makes you really get into competitions.
Oh, believe me, my mental illness goes crazy when I start to compete. Oh, you should have seen me when I played baseball. I was a fucking basket case.
Astro wanted to know, so is this normal or nope? I have KVJ as my favorite podcast, so the app all auto downloads any new episode, which is very convenient, deletes them after 30 days so that I don't have to miss any episodes. Funny thing is when the last episode is done, luckily it auto plays any other random KVJ episode from the past since it is yet to be deleted and still is in my download, which I don't hate. I keep listening and working my day through, so all day at work or in my car, KVJ is playing. Love that. That's normal. So every time my wife sees me, I am continuously listening to you guys, and she is confused. I tell her I don't mind listening to older episodes, and I'd rather listen to KVJ than other podcasts.
Aww.
Do you have other people who are addicted to KVJ like me? Gosh, I hope so.
Look,
Appreciate that. Thank you.
someone's got to be listening to our show because every time I go to Publix, I am talking to KVJ Nationers, and maybe because I talk about it a lot in the air, they'll come up to me at Publix. But I feel like the nation is going strong, and we're very blessed.
Everybody's tuned in except Lucas because you really let him down today.
And then she's like, "Was Lucas real?" I'm like, "Yeah, Lucas was real. I didn't want you getting involved with Lucas."
Well, I was going to buy Lucas some birthday gifts. And he was like, no, leave Lucas alone.
Why would I want to?
I can buy a kid gifts.
I agree. I'll get you that number.
Yeah, Jaybird saw a little kid in Publix, and he asked if Jaybird would win the no-name movie game for him, and Jaybird sadly did not today.
But it was down to the wire.
You were in overtime.
It was a good round,
And
Lucas.
I feel bad for beating you because then I deprived Lucas of the win. So that's why I want to make it up by buying him birthday gifts.
Never lay it up. No, Lucas has got to realize there's disappointments in this world. I mean, look, it's Lucas won't be listening to the podcast. If he is, I don't know.
Lucas, if you're listening, turn this thing off.
Turn this motherfucker off right now.
Dan in the Pizzle said, I've been listening since 2010. I was wondering if you guys had recordings or shows from when you started, like all the way back in 99 through 2009 before I started listening. I'd love to hear what some of that stuff sounds like, too.
I do. I have a lot on cassette tape from way back in like 99, 2000,
Yeah.
2001.
Kevin's voice has changed, and it's weird because your voice even has changed even like from 3 years ago. We're listening to some audio, and it's a different pitch.
Hormones.
Is that what it is? But my voice hasn't.
Kevin went on and off pretty strong testosterone. And that really is the core of the male hormone. That is the big dog of masculine hormones. So affecting your body from the inside with testosterone is the biggest thing a man can do.
Do you feel that that's what it is?
That might be it. Yeah. I mean, I think that your voice just also does naturally age. And, I think the longer I do radio, probably your style also evolves a bit. So it could be a combination of those things.
I'm not saying it as an insult.
No, I know.
I just out of
my
everybody,
early voice is hysterical.
out of everyone's voice, yours just has changed. It continuously changes.
Fast and high pitched. Yeah, it was crazy.
Oh, my voice when I can't even listen to it. I won't listen to it.
Yeah, we actually are looking into that. We're going to make sure we have the rights to all that content. And then if we do, it sounds like the company here is going to help us with the hard drive we had because it has to be taken. It crashed and it has to be taken into like a clean environment, and you have to pay a couple $1,000s to do that. But we didn't want to risk it because it's not surefire that you'll get that content back. But man, if that does work, that'd be amazing. That'd be like the Beatles coming out with one last song.
There's stuff.
I don't know if it's that good.
Well,
Come on. Let him. Come on. He's excited. Let him have a moment. It's Friday.
Easy now, big fella.
I'm okay with being a low budget Beatle. We're the Roaches.
Yeah.
The roaches.
But we might have another hit.
No, it's funny because some of that stuff it would be even funny to play to make fun of.
Right.
Even this, like, oh my gosh, what a
Big time.
what a
Yeah.
shitty bit this is. Like, how did we play this? That's
Yeah.
fun to listen to.
We got paid this week?
Making fun of old stuff is fun.
I agree.
So we're going to look into all that stuff. There's a lot of things that we're talking about right now. One of the big conversations that we have, and this came up from KVJ Nation. They were, wanted to say, hey, can we get a subscription or, do stuff like that. So that's something we are seriously entertaining, and we're having conversations about what kind of content that you would be able to get for KVJ that would be extras. And so, a long-term vault like that might be something that, we could do for KVJ Nation paid subscribers and things of that nature. So, yeah, I mean, the game is changing really quickly. And so we are just trying to figure out how to stay in it and how to do it the right way. So those discussions are happening. So I think 2024 is going to be a big year of progress for KVJ.
I agree.
Down that road.
I agree.
You're going to see a lot of new concepts coming from us.
Cool.
Yeah.
I got all positive vibes for 2024.
Yeah, whichknowscutetoes.com.
But make no mistake about it, the end of 2023 will be horrific.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I'm just joking.
We had a conversation about the daylight saving time coming to an end Sunday morning, 2 a.m. Kim had said, yeah, the time change has to do with farming for the plants to grow efficiently, has nothing to do with money or the other things you guys were talking about. Yeah, okay. And Craig.
So we should all adjust our lives because of farming? The farming can't adapt to us. We have to adapt to farming. Fuck that.
It really does pit the people against the farmers. I don't think that's cool.
It makes no sense.
Yeah.
But here's the other thing too, though. You don't know anything about farming, so you don't know if it does make any sense.
Whatever.
I mean, she's just gonna come in here and like she knows about farming.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I grew up around farmers, wasn't a farmer, but I mean, to me, you're doing whatever you're doing, whatever time of day you're doing it.
Kev, Virginia knows about farming.
I had a garden when I was 12.
And honestly, I get it because I do the same shit.
I had tomatoes, I had strawberries, I had cucumbers, so in your face.
I played golf twice in my life. I'm a golfer.
And Craig said the time change is for safety of our kids. They tried not shifting 1 year when I was young, and there were more kid deaths in the morning trying to go to school than ever. Right now, kids are going to school at sun up, but in August and September, the sun was up and the students were going to school and the bus was in the light.
Signed, overly protective, Omar. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding, so you don't have to send me that.
Yeah, it almost kind of feels like they will never change it.
They're not going to change it.
It is what it is. So,
people don't give a shit about the kids.
I think I'm done bitching about it.
We care about the kids. We love the kids, but overall, the man, they don't give a fuck about the kids.
Yeah. And Nurse Schmidt said, what? I need this research study and links. Yeah, they weren't provided, so that's why I'm not going in, because it's like, all right. Yeah, I don't know where you're getting your facts from, but all right, whatever you want. Jenna was talking about your rich bitch flex. It is kind of interesting. I've seen a few. I grew up not anywhere near people that could do a rich bitch flex. So, I've always been so impressed when I've seen people do things. And there's been a handful of times, one that just pops to my mind. Remember we had that one advertising guy and he took me to the national championship?
Yes.
We were at the Rose Bowl. And
you went on a little private commuter jet.
Only time I've ever been on a private plane in my life. Yeah, and it was kind of a shitty private plane.
Yeah,
as
it
I
wasn't
found
fancy.
Out, but
Is that sport?
Yeah.
that was sport. You knew the guy. Yeah, he flew us to
Unfortunately.
Pittsburgh that one time, and we still don't know why.
That was some weird bullshit right there.
So we were going to the national championship at the Rose Bowl, and it's in a neighborhood. It's a really weird stadium. It's a beautiful stadium, but it's a weird way to get there. And I'm like, we're going to have to walk like 5 miles. He's like, hell, if we are sport. And we keep driving, and we're right behind the team buses. They're pulling into the stadium, and he rolls down his window, and the guy's like, yeah, sorry. He's like, you got to have a lanyard to get past here. And he pulled out $1,000. The guy's like, fuck it, park right there. We parked closer than the team did. I honestly took about 8 steps before I walked in the stadium. I've never seen anything like it in my life. I'm like, that was freaking amazing,
Cash
dude.
is a lanyard.
Is that rocket still going? Is that dude still alive?
I don't know. I don't know.
mean,
He probably flamed out because he was going pretty hot and fast.
I feel like
I think he did flame
I
out.
feel like you cannot
Yeah.
go that hard, man, and not flame out.
He was the guy that we were there, and we had really good tickets. He took me to another national championship. This one was in Phoenix.
I mean, did you have to blow him or anything?
No, he just, I don't know. I think I enabled him. So
Yeah, I think he thought you were cool to hang out with. You're the host
Yeah.
of the show. He was all about power and what you could do for him. He talked to me like a dumb fuck. He was not very nice to me. He
Called you sport.
And he liked you. He liked hanging out with you. But
Yeah.
again, you enabled his bad. You were a light gasser.
So we got free tickets on the 10-yard line. I couldn't even believe it. I'm like, this is freaking amazing. He's like, that's not good enough, sport. He went and bought 2 tickets on the 50-yard line for $15,000 each.
What?
And that's where we sat. Like, I'm like, that's.
That kind of energy makes me so turned off. Like, I'm so glad I didn't have to go to that.
But the whole night, though, after he was so drunk, and I had to stay so sober because everyone was trying to kick his ass.
That sounds
So
miserable.
It was rough. Yeah, and at the end of it all, he went to the bathroom, and I just ran to my room and hid.
Oh my gosh, that is my worst nightmare.
I
my
couldn't
gosh.
anymore. I was so tired. I just want to go home. I was like,
Well, you have to
had
be
enough.
cool because he's paying and he's a client, and it's
Yeah.
work related, so you have to fucking shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Be
So
complicit in his horrific behavior.
yeah. So I've witnessed a few, and we were talking about one time Virginia and I were in Vegas. We used to do something with another paying client. We met a listener that was out there. He was with his girlfriend, and he was spending $25,000 on hands of whatever he was doing, but he was a terrible gambler, and he was losing every time. And I saw him blow $150,000, and I had to walk out because I can't. It's against everything in my life, like what I believe in.
It was so much money, and this
couldn't.
guy kept losing and
Couldn't do
losing.
it.
I'm like, okay, it's a lot of money, and you're not fucking good at poker, dude. Like, come on, or
Yeah.
blackjack, or whatever it was. I don't even know what the game was.
It's got to be painful to not have that kind of money.
So
and
much
to see it
money.
I just could, because I know how. I mean, I've just seen so many people that $100 changes their week, and,
Right.
and to see him just throwing,
We were those people.
shitting money out like that.
Beginning radio, you were those people.
$100 would have changed my whole Vegas vacation.
Yeah, and Jenna said, I worked at a casino in central New York, and I was a dealer in the World Series of Poker, and this lady who was in the top 3 made a ton of cash, and after she won, she went to the craps table, and I saw her lose about $300,000.
What?
After that, she goes home, gets a couple $100,000 more, and lost that too, and didn't tell her husband. The dysfunction was so much, I quit the job. I couldn't even do it. Even though I was making like $500 a day in tips, it just fucked me up watching these people. And I get it. I had to walk away because I'm like, this is so freaking dysfunctional.
Look,
I can't even be a witness to this.
If something crushes your spirit or soul, nothing's ever going to be
Yeah,
worth it. That's the
I
most
could-
important thing a human can have.
I'm with you. I would have walked out too. I'd be like, I can't do this, guys. I just can't see this stuff, man. Katie said, yeah, my rich bitch flex, my aunt who lives in a posh suburb outside of San Fran, which everything there is expensive, changed her in-ground pool. It was perfectly fine. She had lots of space, but it was vertical, and she wanted to be horizontal.
And you're right. That shit would cost so much money to do because it's not cheap and it's the dumbest shit.
Yeah.
I would die for a pool, and this bitch is changing hers from vertical to horizontal.
That's some rich people shit.
Damn.
Yeah, it's just unreal. I mean, I do love hearing those stories because it's so like, wow. And I remember, one of the ones that was on Reddit was this woman went in and spent $15,000 on bikes for her whole family just for the weekend. Then they just left them, stuff like that. Where you're just like, wow. It's
When
crazy.
you become that kind of rich, you become so out of touch with regular people, and you become a little soft too, because you have everything in your world at the press of a button, and as soon as your coffee's not hot, like what? They lose they're not human anymore.
Yeah, I've read that, and I would be that way. There was an article they'd done on several celebrities that they still live like paupers because they can't believe it. And I would be that same way. I would still want to drive a basic car, live in a basic house, just because I grew up around impoverished people, and I couldn't fathom it. It would make me. I would have such anxiety if I had a super nice house, looking at the LA hills and all that kind of
The bad man's
stuff.
always coming to take it away from
Yes,
you. Always.
right.
Don't forget that.
I could never get over that.
I get
ever.
that. That's about I think I have the same mentality. No matter how good it is, it's never going to be. You can be fired tomorrow, kid.
I get anxiety when I see people spending a lot of money. It makes me nervous.
I get it.
tweaking. I have to run away. It's the weirdest thing is, I gotta go. I can't do this. Yeah, it's a weird thing that I've got. That's crazy. A couple other emails that we got here. Somebody said, somebody hacked the St. Lucie County DMV, and they're holding all the information for ransom.
Oh,
That's funny. We were just
damn.
telling a crew here yesterday, came in some students, about how that's happened to some radio stations. Hackers have done that, held the radio station hostage. DMV has been experiencing an outage for about a week. I work at a car dealership, and my little lady was told this by the DMV. Funny it's not on the news. That is interesting.
Why is it not on the news?
I don't know if that did happen. Why would they not put that on the news?
That's weird.
Huh. I don't know.
Yeah, that hacking stuff is crazy. They can hold anything ransom until you pay it. And so what is the St. Lucie DMV going to do?
Yeah.
You have to pay it.
Right. That is kind of odd.
That does suck when you do have to give into terrorism or terrorists or what. It's a form of it.
It's crazy.
And then we got Cassie. She said, should I be concerned? I had to check my internet connection from my Fire Stick, and this was one of the available networks. It says FBI van available. I love how people name different stuff.
It is pretty
Somebody named their
funny.
Wi-Fi FBI van. She said, if the government is watching me, I didn't do it.
Just assume they're always watching.
I always feel like...
Somebody's watching me, and I got no privacy.
That's my
Whoa.
I missed the first round.
Yeah, got in a little too late.
Oh, we didn't do the singing game today.
We do. I'm kind of rotating every other week.
I feel like
Because
that
there are some people that are kind of in or out on both of them. So
Well,
I'm
fuck
like,
those people.
fuck them all.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
They don't like the singing game?
It's
Really? That's such a fun game.
I know. It's kind of hit or miss. It's like half in, half out.
I
kinda.
respectfully disagree.
That's why it's on a lighter rotation.
Man,
Yeah.
emails ruin it and shit.
Yeah. Somebody did text in earlier. We had been talking about Taylor Swift. Her album has only been out, I think somebody said, since October 27th. It's already the top-selling album of the year. 1.1 million copies in the last week, #1. It's also the top-selling vinyl album in history. They've only been keeping records since 91, but that's still impressive. 500,000 copies on vinyl. I think because it's a collector's item, people like the vinyl because you can. I had that thing once. It was pretty cool. They sell frames for that. What was it? What do they call that? Urban Outfitters, I think.
Yeah.
They used to sell those, and I would get that because I used to have all these old vinyl albums. And it's probably about 20 years now we did it, but I had some Kiss albums and stuff like that. It's cool. You put them in a frame and you can hang them on the wall.
That's cool.
It looks so awesome.
It's so badass.
I've got
yeah.
a little album thing kind of going on one of my walls, and people who don't
a
like
great
albums
look,
or like
yeah.
Billy Joel go, "That's fucking cool looking."
It
man."
is cool, yeah. It
I love
is.
Billy Joel wall with
Yeah.
that, with some plants.
So that led into Taylor Swift and a call that had happened where her dad hung up, and her dad kind of being an asshole. Virginia's going
Her
down that
dad
path.
never wanted to be on the call, and it's all about an NDA. And I just, as a parent, I would never sign an NDA that would prohibit me from telling my daughter she was about to get fucked on an epic scale by Scooter Braun. And I think that's what happened.
Yeah, I'm going to do a deeper dive into it. The text that we got said the deal with Taylor's dad was that he had to let her know about decisions on music and deals, and he took himself off the call so he could claim not knowing to justify not having let her know what was going on with music catalog.
But that's your daughter, okay? There's no justification. There's no DNA. There's no NDA I would have signed that would keep me from telling her what was up. And he profited off that deal. Now, I don't know if they're cool. I'm sure
Yeah.
they probably are. And he probably told her, look, I had no idea they were about to do that. But yes, I did profit. Here, take all the money.
All I'm saying is this: when it comes to all of this shit, you've got big time money, you've got big time celebrities, and you've got people who act like they know all of the inner
Right,
workings of what's
yeah.
going. There might be some kind of information in that whole situation that even the Swifties are not privy to, and people get all fucking crazy on social media
Right.
and think they know, or the microphone, and then they start calling him a bad dad. You don't know that.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know all the details.
I would never sign an NDA that kept me from being honest about money with my daughter.
If that's all that really truly happened and that's how it went down and everything you say is to the letter of the law, but I don't trust you weren't there. You're going on shit from TMZ.
I am going on shit from TMZ.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
And even dirtier sites than TMZ.
Well, people act like they know exactly what happened with Britney Spears. I'm like, y'all, she's made some questionable decisions on her own as well.
Look, I know Taylor was pissed, so I'm pissed. And I
Okay.
don't know who I should be pissed at, but I'm pissed.
And that's why we're never gonna have peace on Earth, because of fucking that man.
Yeah. It says rumor has it he
Barbie.
made a vast commission off that sale. So I will do a deeper dive.
He
and
did.
Try to see what was going on with that and see where that all stands.
And he he might be an evil fuck.
I don't think he's an evil fuck. I just think he was duped or stupid or I don't know if
Well,
he was
let's ruin him
completely
then.
evil.
Let's ruin him then.
But I mean, you should know better than to sign an NDA that keeps you from talking to your daughter about her finances.
Guys, ladies and gentlemen, Virginia Sinicki, the person who's never made a mistake in her career, 100 out of 100. I mean,
Whatever.
motherfuckers make mistakes.
I agree that motherfuckers do make mistakes, but when it comes
Yeah.
to your kids, you can't sign anything that makes you keep stuff from them.
Yeah. Well, with only $1.1 billion in net value, hopefully Taylor can find a way through this.
I'm just saying, everyone that does entertainment news acts like they know everything about the situation. And they're
Right.
just as bad as sports talk.
Yeah.
Oh, Jordan's better than LeBron.
All right, so there you go. All right, got it all in. Thank you all for the emails, the texts, whatever you do, however you like to get a hold of us, mail at kvjshow.com. Or you can also get in those texts, 877-979-WRMF, 877-979-9763. Y'all have a great weekend. We'll see you back here on Monday. Good.